For today's project, what we'll be doing is turning our superhero that we designed uh, prior to our creation, the one that you designed that's like sort of ethically or has like some righteous social justice or social righteous background, and you're gonna be creating that in the platform of your choosing. Again, ones that we've covered: Vectr, photopea, Photoshop, Illustrator, or you can use a combination of those in your creation. So for this, this is using Vectr currently, and I drew up this character, we can see here, and I would suggest drawing it up beforehand, using this upload image, so you can bring in your picture. So it makes it a little bit easier for you to trace your character or your drawing instead of trying to do it by freehand. When doing so, I would suggest maybe if you want, you could try to bring in your background that you want to use for your design, um, as well as bring in some couple ideas for colors. You can label them. I also uploaded a picture of what I want to use as well. Down here is a picture of ice. Then I want my person to be made of ice. He's like sort of protecting like the polar ice caps. So I brought in a picture that I think is gonna be nice. So it's like this like white and different shades of blue to sort of go along with my character and that creation. So I also went over here and like all these like little hash marks here. These are to help me identify where I want like a second tone. So this is gonna be like helping create that, making my form read more three-dimensional rather than just 2D and flat. So again, making a gradient. So if I want to make a gradient, I'm gonna make a shape right now. So here's my background colors. Here's the border color that surrounds the edge. The shadow, the drop shadow. We don't have any right now, or insert shadow. So right now it's the background color. It's blue. But if you use this drop down, you import an image into that location. Linear gradient or radial gradient. Probably for this, it'll be linear gradient. And so again, it's like left to right or up and down from corner to corner. So when I want to go and make this color, I can move it around. So I can choose blue if I wanted. For that first one, go back to this. And I can select the bottom one here. And now I'm going to choose a different, I'll choose like a dark blue. So I can start to make my gradient on my actual piece, my character. So if I wanted to have that gradient, I can place it on the desired shape or place where I want it to be on my character. So I am expecting to make my form more three-dimensional because you want it to be not flat, not like paper cutouts, but more of like a comic book look or an anime or a manga, so something along those lines. So by doing so, starting to get this idea of where I want those shadows to be. So it helps when you draw it out to have it identified, so it makes it a little bit easier for uh, yourself when you're trying to transition your character to a digital platform like this, to have those little cues for yourself. All right. So you can see it's also like what's on the chest, the arms, the legs of the superhero, as well as behind the cape. So that this part of the cape comes forward, like it's like wrapping, sort of starting to wrap around him. So this is behind. So it's like in between like the body and the cape. That would be a little bit darker. And then this is like sort of like a iceberg behind him, and then like a water line. So there's also a gradient on that, or there's a shadow on that as well, to say that there's like a value or a thickness or a volume to that object that's behind him. So again, I would suggest, same as other assignments we've used, your your main tool for this is probably going to be the pen tool. Again, it'll help get as close as you can to your objects, uh, and help like create individual colors or individual changes in your object. The pen tool is not as smooth. I would suggest this. So you can make like sort of like curved angles if you need it, especially like here on his arms or his head. And if you need to zoom in and make those changes, you can also double click on them after you make your piece. So if I made a shape here, so again, if you want to make any changes, you have to do it at the end after you made your one solid design. Then you double click on it. You can actually add points. You can see I'm adding points there. Then I can go and move them if I need to. I can go and click on the ones that I already have made and adjust them as well. So this is the best way if you have something that doesn't line up correctly, is the best way is to go back after you finish your whole shape and edit it. Okay. So for the remainder of this video, it's gonna be a montage of me making this character, um, and again using gradients, using the pen tool, um, and I'm using the pen tool. I could also be using the eyedropper tool in the color swatches to identify these colors here a little bit better. You'd see like on the boards a little bit better colors. So using those to help design and sort of like finalize this character